Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. Season 36, War number 8, and our toughest matchup of the season so far. We are up against NXST. Today my team is going to be Apocalypse, Spider-Man 2099, and Hulkling. Apocalypse going to get a lot of work in today. I'm very excited to get him some use in war. Let's jump right in. Okay, first up we have a Thing on Node 4. We're going to go in with Apocalypse here because he has the sick and tired attacker tactic. You didn't see me do this, but I did turn on Resonate for this fight and actually ended up leaving it on for the rest of the war. Because Apocalypse doesn't have access to his bleed debuffs against Thing, I wanted that extra debuff in place just to make sure that I had the heal block active when using Apocalypse until I had enough permanent debuffs up for this specific fight. So you also saw me pop on a Mutant power boost and also a Power Start 1 boost. So the play here is going to be to first get up to the Special 2, get the Concussion active to handle his rock stacks, and between the Concussion, even the smaller Concussion, and the bleeds from the heavy, the rock stacks are basically held in control the whole fight. I don't think I actually have to bait out a special the whole fight just to clear his rock stacks. So the Mutant Power Back boost you saw put me back at a Special 1 already. So at this point, I had originally planned on just doing a Special 1 here and then moving up to the Special 3. I decided that because of the power I was getting back, I go right up again to the Special 2, apply the degen, and then after that Special 2, I should be set for a Special 1 to apply my third debuff. And then from there, it's just a matter of heavying, keeping those rock stacks under control until I can get them made permanent with a Special 3. So there we go. Popped a Special 2. We got the degen and the Concussion. We're already up over a Special 1. So now he's basically mostly under control here. We can continuously heavy. Rock stacks sitting at 10. Again, not really concerned about that because we're moving 2 each time and then maybe giving him 1 back, sometimes not. You can see just a couple heavies later, we've already just removed them. So looks like I forgot to do the Special 1, and I'm going right back up to the Special 3 at this point to lock in that Concussion. I don't know what happened there. I think I was late on a heavy and took a couple hits. So that, there we go. I was late on a second heavy, and then I just popped the Special 2 and said screw it. So, all right, we're going to get the big Concussion and the big degen up, and those are going to be permanent. The big Concussion is really the most important part here because it will allow us to make his rock stacks a complete non-issue, and any fight against Thing, that's really your number one concern is accidentally making him go unstoppable. So we've got 2 permanent debuffs up. The healing has not been a factor at all in this fight. There we go. We popped on the poison with the Special 1, and that Special 1 actually ends up killing him. So I don't think we had very good uptime of a heal block, but it didn't really matter anyways. So all right, moving on, we have a Mole Man on Node 13. This is with Masochism, so again, Apocalypse hard counters Masochism and hard counters Mole Man as well, so this is a perfect counter for this fight. I was unsure about how the previous fight and this fight were going to go, being that I didn't have enough room on my team to bring along like Cable, so I could have Apoc start at 4 genetic code or whatever that precision charge is called for him, so that's why I ended up boosting probably more than I needed to, just to give myself that extra bit of wiggle room. So Apocalypse absolutely destroys Mole Man almost on any node here. So this is just a matter of not getting hit and not dying. So we've got access to our bleeds here, unlike in the previous fight. So good uptime of the heal block. Not that it really matters because Apocalypse counters Masochism, so there's really no way that Mole Man is going to be healing other than from willpower, and we've shut willpower down in this fight. We've got more than enough debuffs up, so just, you know, playing it pretty conservatively, making sure our debuffs are refreshed with the heavy, making sure we properly dex that Special 1, and then go in and punish. And I think this Special 1 ends up finishing the job, and we're 2 up and 2 down for this war. Let's move on. All right, next up we have a RINTRAH on Node 24 with EMP mod, Bubble Shield, Burn to Might, and Aspect of Evolution. So the way that RINTRAH's Neutralize interacts with Spider-Man, despite being immune to buffs, RINTRAH will still put a Rupture on Spider-Man when a buff would have occurred, but, you know, the Neutralize prevented, even though he's immune. It's a really weird interaction, but the end result is that I will be taking some Rupture damage here, so I do have to kind of be aware of that. The only other thing to worry about in this fight, since I don't have to worry about EMP mod or Burden of Might really, is, you know, just don't forget about Bubble Shield, and I think I might take an unblocked hit here. And then keep him away from his wall, because that's when he goes unstoppable and unblockable if you hit him against his wall. And I'm not really planning on using the special 3 here in this fight in order to get my slow debuff up. So I could probably be playing Spider-Man a lot more effectively, not only in this fight, but in other fights as well. Just get parried there, that kind of sucked. And what I mean by that is that I feel like with an unduped Spider-Man 2099, I feel personally less inclined to play him, hitting into a block with a Wither debuff up and get all those extra ruptures up, because I'm only guaranteed to get 1 rupture burst out of him. So it feels like a lot of extra work and a lot of time wasted for maybe not a lot of burst damage. And I could be absolutely wrong on that. I'm still very new to the character, of course. That's just my personal feelings on it. So I'm more or less playing this fight straight and just using Spider-Man as like a hard counter to the node combination, rather than using him to be like the most effective attacker for this node that I can. Spider-Man, of course, has the attacker tactic. Healing not really coming into play here. So yeah, just continuing to watch the bubble shield charges. Looks like I have 8 here. I am heavy countering his special 1 when I can. I'm getting maybe a little too fancy here. It doesn't end up costing me, but that's what happens sometimes. You can see we did take 1 or 2 hits from that parry a few minutes ago. But other than that, the ruptures, they're not really doing that much damage. We are out healing them for sure. So I'm not really concerned about them. Just kind of backing off when I feel like he's getting close to his wall, and then we can go from there. The withers and the exhaustions are taking care of the power gain when we do have a buff prevented on us from the neutralize. This is a somewhat longer fight. RINTRAH, extremely tanky character, huge health pool. But Spider-Man really does a great job on this node and against this defender as well. So I think 1 more hit should do it, and then RINTRAH will go down. Oh, there's the blocked hit. I forgot about Bubble Shield right at the end. I knew I did at some point during this fight. So and then I take a special 1 at the end. So fight was going great until the very end. We have literally 1 hit left, and I take 2 stupid hits, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So just cost us a couple potions. All right, moving up. This is maybe my favorite war fight that I can ever recall. This is a PENI Parker on node 30 with Reinvigorated, Unblockable, and Never Back Down. We're going to add a Cosmic Power Back boost for Hulkling, and you're going to see just how ridiculous Hulkling is in this fight. I had an alliance mate in our line chat, and I think they just pulled Hulkling, and they're like, I haven't seen much on him. Is he any good? And all I did was send them the clip of this fight, and I said, yes, Hulkling is pretty good. I did take a hit there because she unfortunately auto-blocked my 5th hit, which kind of sucks. So building up those shapeshift charges here and getting her to block, hitting into her block. There we go. 1 SP2. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. 2 Furies up. Fire off that 2nd special 2. And that is all she wrote. Hulkling, very good, guys. Very good. All right, next up we have a Wong on node 40. This is my first time, I think, fighting Wong. Not really, I don't know if this is a decent placement or not. Like, Spider-Man, of course, counters buffet, so I don't have to worry about the healing too much. The only thing that I think I want to worry about in this fight, and against Wong in particular, is that when his Eldritch Energy gets, I think it's over 80, you want to heavy attack to knock him down, because if you light or medium into him when he has a certain amount of energy, he applies this like giant burst damage back to you, and you definitely don't want to take that. So I'm just playing, again, similar to the RINTRAH fight a couple minutes ago. I'm just playing this fight more or less straight, trying to get a Dex off his special 1 when I can, but I don't want to be, if you Dex his special 1 too early, he's just going to plop right on top of you, so I am kind of being mindful about that. We've got the heal block up, but again, it doesn't matter because we have countered buffet already just by being in the fight. And the Wither, I think, removes Wong's spell, so that's why you're not seeing it apply from the special 2. I think he purifies Wither and then removes 1 spell of each type is how it works. So, but we've got enough exhaustions up that if he has the power gain from a random heavy charge, we'll have that under control. Down he goes, easy peasy. All right, so late in the war, I was asked to take a stab at these 2 mini bosses. So first up is a Dr. Doom on node 51, Combat Deja Vu, Prowess, Puncture, and Conflictor. Doom, of course, is a conduit defender, so we're going to go in here with APOC so we can shut down that healing pretty easily. Apocalypse hard counters Conflictor, so we don't have to worry about that. And I don't think this person is actually running Mystic Dispersion either, so there's not going to be a lot of annoying power gain in this fight. Also, still at only 3 genetic code rather than 4, so I'm only going to be able to get 1 debuff up per special attack. So the play here is to first get the Special 2 Concussion up, and the reason that I want to do that is because I want to lower the chances of him proccing the aura as much as possible. And the reason I don't want the aura is because it's going to be more difficult for me to refresh my debuffs if I have to wait for the aura to expire, because otherwise he's of course going to resist that. So trying to be mindful of that aura whenever it procs from the Special 2. I'm sorry, the Special 1 rather. And then I think at this point of the fight, you know, the bleeds plus the concussion are doing a good job of keeping the healing in check. So I'm just going to go straight for the Special 3 here and lock in that concussion at double potency. Get a nice Special 2 dex here. I think I only take 1 blocked hits there. That's better. Better than my attempts against Gauntlet Doom for sure, when I was getting locked into my block and incinerated. So thankfully that doesn't happen in this fight here. All right, we're going to pop off this Special 3. Always very satisfying to watch this Special 3, by the way. So this is going to lock in our concussion at 70%. It's more or less going to shut off the aura for the rest of the fight. And now from here, we can just apply more bleeds with the heavy and use our various other special attacks to apply enough debuffs to keep the healing in check here. So it looks like the concussion is also actually shutting off the conduit node, which is interesting. I didn't notice that until literally just this moment, but that's interesting. I didn't know that conduit was affected by ability accuracy modification. So, all right, so we've got the poison up. We're gonna go all damage from here on out. Lock in these debuffs with the heavy, and just, you know, at this point the fight is well under control as long as we don't take an SP2 to the face or take a couple of unblocked combos. That would be super bad. Just trying to make sure that all my parries are sticking. Get the SP1 weakness, so now we've got the heal block up and permanent, and Doom is all but dead. Very, very satisfied with my performance on this boss node, or mini boss node rather. So there was some discussion. I don't know if you guys saw it on the map. There was an Omega Sentinel boss, and there was some discussion about me taking that one. She's still bugged, and she will auto-block unblockable attacks, so I don't end up getting a shot at Omega Sentinel. So last fight from me is a Massacre on node 54. This is Aspect of Evolution, Enhanced Special 2 SP2 Bias. I don't claim to be an expert on anything regarding war defense strategy, but I really don't understand this placement here, because Massacre Special 2 much more dangerous if it's blocked, and if the first hit is unblocked and you take the unblocked Special 2, I feel like you're probably in a better spot than if you had otherwise blocked it. But nevertheless, as long as we can bait out the Special 1s in this fight, we'll be just fine. So to that end, I'm going to be very cautious baiting out these Special 1s. He is extremely cooperative in this fight, which is great. I don't have to spend too much time getting those Special 1s out of him. As far as like my strategy, it's really just do damage and you know, tappy swipey swipey. I'm being careful not to take him like too much at all over a Special 1, and that's so that if I happen to, you know, miss a parry or get hit on a reverse intercept, you know, a full combo doesn't take him up to that Special 2. That's really my only concern in this fight, is not to bring him to a Special 2. And I actually think my Special 2 here ends up killing him. So there we go. All 4 debuffs up, and there we go. Down and down. 7 up, 7 down. Extremely pleased with my performance this war, and it got us the W. 7 kills, 0 deaths. We are still undefeated at 5-0 for the season. Shout out to NXST. They were a tough matchup. The war was very close, very, very close, but I'm glad to have the win. And that's going to do it for me, guys. If you like this one, please go ahead and hit like for me, hit sub so you can get access to future war videos, and as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.